Hey guys, so today I will be sharing with you another book haul. So this one I'm really excited about because it's not a very large book haul, but they're all adult like mystery thriller suspense novels except for one which is YA, but they're all mystery thrillers. I'm really excited about it. I've been in the mood recently of wanting to read more mystery thrillers. I do have some on my shelf, but I always like to keep like a variety of mystery thrillers on my shelf, depending on what mood I'm in, and mystery thrillers are my favorite genre, so definitely had to pick up a couple of more. So I've got 7 books in the stack, again, all mystery thrillers, which I'm really excited about. These are all books that I want to read a lot sooner than later. Hopefully I can get to all of these by the end of the year. If not, at least a good majority or a good portion of these I will definitely get to before the end of the year, because going into October season and the winter season, these are going to be really fun to read throughout this last half of the year. So the first book I have is Layla by Colleen Hoover. This one I've been wanting to read for a while now. It's one of her newest novels. I believe it's her most recent one that she's come out with. And it's a romantic kind of suspense novel is what it's described as. Follows our 2 main characters, Leeds and Layla. Leeds meets Layla. They kind of fall in love. They're in this whole romance thing, and they decide to go on vacation to a B&B. And when they go out there, Layla's kind of attitude changes, and it gets very eerie. Her kind of behavior becomes a little bit kind of erratic and everything and strange. So things kind of go from there. I don't really want to get too much into this one because I really enjoyed Colleen Hoover's last kind of thriller that she wrote, Verity. I absolutely loved that one. That was very messed up. It was just one of those like wild rides. So this one I'm really excited to get into because it's more suspenseful as well. I believe this one is supposed to be kind of a ghost story from what I heard as well. So yeah, really excited to get into this one. This one I'm definitely going to read at some point by the end of the year. And as my book of the month pick, I picked up The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. This one is an older one. I believe this one came out January of 2019. I think, I looked at the picks and stuff for the books that were out for September, and none of them I really ended up wanting to pick. Like, none of them were really drawing my attention, so I ended up just picking up an older read. And I was, again, in the mood for a mystery thriller, so I've heard about this one. I was, like, nominated for Book of the Year back in 2019, and a lot of people had read it and really loved it, and I've seen really good reviews about it. It follows our main character, who I guess goes and kills her husband, and then after she does that, she stops speaking and never says a word at all after that. So it's following kind of, her journey, I guess, her psychologist trying to get her to talk to see what happened, why, she murdered her husband, what was going on, and kind of uncovering all of those secrets. This one, again, I heard it's really good. I'm really excited to get to this one at some point very soon. And then I picked up a couple of Ruth Ware books. Ruth Ware is another author that I've, mentioned before. I want to kind of slowly get through her books. I've read her first 2 novels, In a Dark Wood and The Woman in Cabin 10, which I've really enjoyed. The Lying Game, her 3rd novel, is on my list of books that I want to read before the end of the year. So definitely going to get to that one. So from Book Outlet, I picked up a couple of other ones that they had there. The Turn of the Key, which I have no idea what this is about because the back of the book only just has a bunch of blurbs from her previous books, and there's no real synopsis in this. So I guess I'm going to go into this one very blindly. And then I also picked up One by One, which is her latest novel. And this one does take place in the French Alps, and it follows a group of people that are kind of trapped in a snowstorm in this like hotel in the French Alps, and then one by one they start getting murdered. The synopsis of this one alone just sounds absolutely up my alley and something that I'm really going to enjoy, especially because of these whole, winter vibes and being trapped in a snowstorm and everything. I feel like it's going to be perfect to read during the winter time, so I am absolutely going to get to this one before the end of the year. And then I picked up White Fox by Sarah Faring. This is the only YA one, like I mentioned, that I have on my list. This is Sarah Faring's 2nd book, her first one being The 10th Girl, which I read at the beginning of this. Really enjoyed that one, so really excited to get to her 2nd novel. This one I really haven't heard anybody talk about it, just because a lot of people didn't really love her first novel, so I feel like a lot of people probably didn't pick up her 2nd one. But this one follows 2 sisters who are forced to kind of leave their home as children, after the death of their mother, I believe it was, they end up coming back 10 years later to the family home and slowly begin to kind of uncover secrets revolving around the mother's death and the father and his kind of business. You know, they were very wealthy, and they're kind of going through their home and this compound that they used to live in and slowly uncovering these secrets that revolve around the mom and the family and everything. This one, again, I'm really excited to get to. I've been wanting to read this one since the beginning of the year. I just didn't own it, and I finally do. So this one is one that I'm actually going to read for Hispanic Heritage Month now. I have one book that I'm starting tomorrow for Hispanic Heritage Month, and then this one I'm going to read right after that book. So you will hear my thoughts about this one fairly soon. This one, hopefully I will start it by the end of September, and then probably beginning of October or something I'll end up finishing it. But really excited to get into this one and see kind of, you know, how Sarah Fearing's writing and everything evolves in her second novel. I also picked up The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins. I read the Girl on the Train by Rachel Hawkins. Really enjoyed that one. I watched the movie adaptation. Really enjoyed it as well with Emily Blunt. So yeah, I've been wanting to read more by this author, and just haven't picked anything up until now. This is her latest novel. It follows, I guess, a family and some secrets. The Wife Upstairs, that title alone is very reminiscent of Jane Eyre. You know, if you guys have read Jane Eyre, know about Jane Eyre, you guys kind of know the whole premise of The Wife Upstairs. So I know this is a domestic kind of thriller. Secrets are being kept by this family and everything, but this one I want to kind of try and go to fairly blindly. Other than that, I really don't want to know much about it, but I've heard kind of hit or miss things about this one. So let's see kind of what I end up thinking about this one when I end up eventually reading this. And then the last book I picked up was The Dilemma by B.A. Paris. B.A. Paris is another author that I've been wanting to read more of. A couple of years ago, I actually read her first 3 novels, all back-to-back during a March Mystery Madness, and absolutely ended up falling in love with this author, falling in love with her writing. She only had those 3 books out at the time, and The Dilemma hadn't come out yet. But this one, I actually have a funny story. I pre-ordered this book, actually, before it came out and everything, through Book Depository, because I wanted the UK edition, because I just don't like the American cover of this. So I ordered the UK edition, and this was right before COVID and everything. The book ended up releasing, and I never got a shipping confirmation. Nothing ever, you know, was sent to me. I ended up contacting Book Depository. They told me they were having issues with the like the manufacturers or something with the shipping, you know, again, due to COVID. So they asked me if I wanted to just cancel my order or wait for it. So I decided to wait for it because I really wanted to read B.A. Paris's next novel. So I told them I would wait, you know, never mind, you know, I would continue to wait for it. And I ended up getting an email, I believe it was a month ago, probably a year and a half later, literally a year and a half later. I get an email saying that they unfortunately were unable to obtain the book from the distributor, and that they were going to issue me a refund. So I ended up, after a year and a half of me having ordered this book, I ended up getting a refund. So I found this one cheap on Book Outlet. I ended up having to get the American cover, even though I absolutely hate this cover. I ended up having to get this version anyways because, again, it was cheap on Book Outlet, and I've been wanting to read B.A. Paris' next novel because her most recent novel actually just came out probably like a couple weeks ago or almost a month ago at this point, and I really wanted to read that one. I believe it's called The Therapist, so I need to read The Dilemma. This one, I feel like it's less of a thriller from what I heard. It's more like a domestic kind of thing, and less of a mystery thriller, but still, either way, it's B.A. Paris. I really want to read all of her novels as well, so really excited to finally have this one in my hands after a year and a half of me trying to obtain this one. Yeah, guys, that is it for all of my new mystery thrillers that I picked up. Comment down below, let me know if you guys have read any of these and what your thoughts are, if you guys enjoyed them or not. Obviously, you know, no spoilers, try not to get into too many details or anything on the synopsis, because I like to go into mystery thrillers fairly blindly. But either way, I'd love to know if you guys have read any of these at all. Before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys all again for watching, and I will see you all next time.